So I was talking to my Canadian friend the other day. On TikTok, she's Jodi the Bus Driver, if you're familiar with her. She sent me a link to an event up there that she thought I might be interested in coming up and checking out some year. The event appears to be circle track snowmobile ice racing, which is cool. I do enjoy that kind of stuff. We have events like that down here in Minnesota too, but they're not calling it snowmobile racing or snowmobile ice racing or anything like that. Nope, they call it the Canadian Power Toboggan Championships. And I'm like, excuse me, Jodi, we need to shut down your whole entire country until somebody can get up there and investigate what the hell is going on. Because, you know, they are commonly referred to as sleds or snowmobiles. I've heard that people in Alaska call them snow machines for some weird reason, even though when you say snow machine, I picture the thing that they use to make snow on ski hills when you get a winter like this. But power toboggan? Now, there's already the first debate about whether a toboggan is a sled or something you put on your head. I feel like regionally, I've always been predisposed to think of it as like a stocking cap. I will concede that I think toboggan is an indigenous word for a specific type of sled, so I won't die on that particular hill. But attributing it to a snowmobile, that's just getting out of hand. That's like their whole official organization. Like, power toboggan is something they put in the name of a governing body for a sport. Snowmobile is technically the correct name, but that's a long word, which is why we go around referring to them as sleds in most places. But power toboggan, you're adding syllables. It's just unnecessary. So I explained to her how distressing the thing she sent me was, and she's like, nah, don't worry about it. Just grab a couple bunny hugs and a toque. 2K? I don't know. I was reading it. And she's like, come on up and we'll grab a 24. And I'm like, I don't know what any of those words mean, but I assume a 24 is a case of beer. And she's like, yeah, but we pronounce it 2-4. What? So then, continuing to try to traumatize me with her Canadian lingo, she sends me a list with a whole bunch of translations with what the real word is and what Canucks call it. And it gets so much worse. Like, do you know what they call colored pencils up there? Pencil crayons. What? They call a beer gut a Molson muscle, which I actually kind of appreciate because, you know, Molson is a Canadian beer. That was pretty fucking funny. Then they call coffee creamer whitener, which does not seem nearly specific enough. Then you know how we have white bread, right? Well, they looked at that and they're like, well, why don't we just call all the breads by their color? So apparently in America's hat, they call wheat bread brown bread. No, it's wheat. It's not even that brown. They call rubber bands elastic, so I don't know what they call the waistband of sweatpants, which they refer to as track pants. Then they've got Mounties, which I think we all knew that one. It's their mounted police. But in the little description, it said the Royal Canadian Mounted Police is like the American FBI. I don't think it is. U.S. Marshals maybe, since they're a federal police force and both used to ride horses. They call their electricity hydro, which I mean, good for them. At least I guess in Manitoba, they get like 97% of their electricity from hydroelectric dams. But again, doesn't seem to be real specific because hydro is a specific thing that's not electricity. But I think the one that trips me up the absolute most is the fact that they call whole milk, which apparently they sell in bags, homo milk. That seems a little derogatory at worst. At best, maybe human breast milk. Just saying, nothing good comes to mind when you hear the words homo milk. I guess it's short for homogenized milk, but I feel like there was some better options in this particular case. So y'all could have just took our lead here and called it whole milk. That's worked out pretty good for us so far. But y'all call snowmobiles fucking power toboggans. Clearly you're not afraid of a few extra syllables. Why was this the particular word y'all decided needed to be slimmed down? Just seems like if you guys were gonna stick with a longer word, homogenized might have been the appropriate scenario to do that in. Figure it out.